Hi everyone, I wanted to talk to you today about afterlife signs and symbols. I have a lot of clients that tell me that even years after losing a loved one, they have not received a significant sign or symbol that their loved one is okay. And I know that this is something that really creates prolonged grief, complicated grief, a grief that is so heavy that it's very difficult to recover from. It's a very natural thing to desire to know if your loved one is okay on the other side, if your loved one made it to heaven. And depending on your religious beliefs, there are many different terms for the same thing. What you want to know is your loved one safe? Are they healthy? Are they happy? Do they still exist? Did they make it to heaven? Did they make it to the other side? That's all the bereaved really want to know in order to begin their own healing journey and to fully embrace being able to release their loved one in the physical realm and begin to embrace them in the spiritual realm. Now, I like to tell people there are certain steps to follow. Yes, you can ask spirit. You can ask your loved ones for signs and symbols. You can communicate to them before you go to bed at night and then expect to have a dream visitation. Dream visitations are real. These are real afterlife experiences. Your loved one on the other side knows when you're the most receptive, and they know when to attempt contact with you. They're not going to try to get a spiritual message to you when you're busy driving the kids to soccer or making dinner in a very loud house. I mean, sometimes they may try, but most of the time it will be fruitless because you'll be too busy and preoccupied to even notice the signs and symbols they're giving you. So one of the top things that you can do to encourage and experience an afterlife visit from your loved one is to take some downtime, unplug from social media, unplug from scrolling on the internet. Take some time out in nature where you can literally just be alone. Quiet your mind, come to a place like this, go to a flowing creek or a garden or sit under a big shady tree. Just get outside somewhere in nature where you feel peaceful. Now, there's many things that contribute to your level of peace. One is privacy, one is quiet, one is nature. Another one is your ability to just tune in to nature and allow your brain waves to slow down. Get out of the monkey mind. Get out of your left brain thinking. When you can slow your brain waves down, this is the same benefit that you would get from a very long and detailed meditation. But you can acquire it very easily by just going into nature and tuning in. Just close your eyes and tune in with the nature around you. You're going to find that your brain waves slow right down, your sense of relaxation and calm increase, that you're able to actually just feel better. You'll feel the chemicals in your body beginning to balance and harmonize. This actually is a very, very receptive state and one that is required to connect with your loved one on the other side. When you're tuned in like this, I advise people just start to observe. Get in a very receptive space where you can observe nature around you. Observe the water flowing by. Notice the shape of the rocks that you can see under the water. Notice the shapes of the leaves that are floating by. Notice the clouds, if there's any clouds above you. Notice anything you hear, a certain bird singing its song to you repetitively over and over, one that you're not used to hearing. All of these things can begin to really open and expand your receptivity. Some may be sent from your loved one on the other side, and some are meant to attune you even deeper to plugging in with your environment and becoming more aware of the spiritual energy. Many people think that connecting with their loved one is going to be as immediate and as physical as having them walk through the door, just show up in person in a full-fledged apparition form. And while that does happen, quite frankly, I've had that happen, it is very rare. It is really, really rare. The spirit world is very subtle and speaks in its own language of symbol and frequency and vibration. And through that, it will solicit the help of the animal kingdom and the natural world to help deliver signs and symbols to you to let you know that your loved one is safe and happy on the other side. And that's why it's so important to learn how to tune in, how to learn how to just be still and quiet your mind. These are the same things that you can do at home if you're not out in nature, if you don't have somewhere that you know of that you can go to. You can experience the same types of stuff in your home, no matter where you live. I mean, you could sit in your office with a little tiny waterfall playing in the background and soothing music with no words. You could light a candle and close your eyes and experience the same type of thing. This will also help your brainwave slow down. Now, when you're in the beta brainwave, which we are right now, when I'm talking to you and you're listening and you're thinking, that is a brainwave that actually blocks out the subtleties of the spirit world. So it does require you to be more mindful. Actually allow your brainwave to slow down. If it slows down into alpha, that's excellent. But if you can get into an even slower brainwave, which is theta, that will help you attune much more to the spirit world. Now, I share a technique for how to get your brain into the theta brainwave, how to slow down and how to go up and get your connection with spirit. I teach that in my online courses. I teach that in Master Your Mediumship. I also teach it in my books that are available online. I teach it in Setting Spirits Free and again in Death and the Afterlife. Both are fantastic books, and both will actually teach you the very simple to learn technique to get connected to the spirit world and to slow your brainwaves down. Now, just because it's an easy to learn technique doesn't mean you'll all be able to do it initially in the first try, but most of you will. It may take some practice, but the thing is, it's easy to learn. Every human can do it. If you have a desire in your heart, you'll be able to achieve this. I promise. So it's all about slowing your brainwave down, tuning in, getting out of your left, getting into your right brain, where all channeling, spirit communication, spiritual guidance comes in. That's why people that are mediums or channels tend to also be very creative, because we're used to using the right hemisphere of the brain. This is our creative, receptive side where we can receive information. Now, the left brain is all about numbers and figures and organization and planning and structure. And on that side, it's pretty hard for the spirit world to even attempt to connect. This has even been proven when people do the brain mapping on a channel or a medium. They can literally see the right side of the brain light up when it's connected to the electrical probes. So think in terms of left and right when you're wanting to connect with your loved one. Ensure that you're not in a space of thinking, analyzing, or even overthinking. Be sure that you're somewhere that you can be peaceful and quiet, even if you don't meditate, even if you're just listening very carefully to nature. This is when you will begin to receive messages and communication, as well as a knowing in your heart that your loved one is with you in spirit. They're right beside you, and yes, they do want to communicate. They want you to know that they're with you and they love you still. I want to thank you for being here today. If you learned something in this video, or if you tried this and you went and tuned in with nature and you were able to experience something special or meaningful with your loved one in heaven, let me know that down in the comments. And please share what your experiences are. If you would like more detailed information, if you want to set up a private session, go to my website at www.dianapalm.com. And from there, you can even check out my online spiritual academy. The links for all my books are on my website, as well as setting up a private session or spiritual coaching. Thank you guys for being here. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.